But to some of you all, you may not have ever heard of Workforce Southwest Georgia or the WIOA program, which is the Workforce Innovation Opportunity. How much time do I
10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you need.
have? Terry, you heard that?
No.
Oh, we're a mistake.
That was a mistake.
That was a
We,
mistake.
we'll cover it if we need to.
Well, the WIOA program, because I got to back up. The Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Don't have a job, right? To assist those who are underemployed, those individuals who are working two and three jobs just to make ends meet, and those individuals that have barriers to employment. So whether you're making decisions that wasn't on the best end, and now you're out and you're trying to regain your footing, or any other kind of barrier one may have to employment and self-sufficiency. That is the purpose of the WRA program. We are able to assist those individuals with training opportunities. No, we do not do any training. However, we subsidize their training. So if you know some individuals within the county that say, hey, I have a desire, what we would do with Workforce Southwest Georgia is first identify what training provider they're interested in going to and what program of study. With WIOA, we are administered by the state. So you hear the Office of Workforce Development, and we fall up under the umbrella of the Technical College System of Georgia, Office of Workforce Development. It is a total of 18 of us for the state of Georgia. I have the privilege of serving the 14 counties of Southwest Georgia. So if you ever, so we service adults, those individuals that are 18 and whenever you close your eyes forever, right? Then we have the dislocated worker population. Those are individuals who have lost their job at no fault of their own. They done everything right. I came to work. You told me to be on time. You told me to be punctual. You told me to follow instructions. But I came back from lunch and there was a lock on the door. So I have no job. So I'm a dislocated worker. I didn't do anything wrong. And then you have the youth population, the out of school youth, those individuals that may have graduated from high school, but they have a deficiency. So we're able to assist them. Our in school youth, individuals that are currently enrolled in school, we don't have money to assist them. However, I made a promise and an assurance to the board that we will still have a direct communication and contact. And we do that through our Real Skills Day that we offer once a year. And we invite schools to come to Albany to give them exposure to the technical school, to career pathways, and guidance as well. So we do that. So that's kind of our in-kind contribution. So what do? We assist with training opportunities. So if an individual says, hey, I want to be a truck driver, right? Then we take them through the process because we are a federal funded program. So anything federal is going to require paperwork. But I guarantee you the end justifies the means. So if you choose a private training provider for truck driving, most of the time they do not receive Pell, they do not receive HOPE, they don't have those federal dollars. And if it's one that is approved through our program, then we are able to pay the full amount of their training and any other support services that's needed. So that's that one side of the house. The other side of the house is the employer side of the house. If you know of any employers who's looking to hire, who has some openings, and if they fall up under Governor Kemp high demand career industries, then we're able to do an on the job training with those employers. We are able to do a contract with them, and that contract is good for a year. And what we do is we vet those employers just like we do our regular participants, because again, it's federal dollars. So we can't do business with you when you are not up to date with your taxes or you have other things going on. So we have to make sure we have to vet you as an employer. We'll walk them through the process, let them know what is required of them, as an employer and what is needed to begin this on-the-job training contract. Once the contract has been executed, then we look to try to find employees, right? So if there's some individuals that's here in Miller County and they qualify through the WRA program, then we are able to take them through the process, vet them, determine their suitability and eligibility, enroll them into the program. And after we enroll them into the program, then we say, okay, employer X, Y, and Z, here's a participant that you can interview, take through the process, and if it's a match made in heaven, here's your new employee. How does that benefit that employer? We are able to reimburse salary only, not fringe, 50% of that salary. So what can that employer do? Oh my goodness. You can either reinvest into your business, or you can increase your incumbent worker for retention, right? So that's the plus. So that is the regular funded formula dollars that I have, right? Now, what I want to talk about in addition to the regular formula funded dollars that I just talked about is this Stronger Together opportunity. Well, you all are aware, back in August, well, back in May, June, July, August was the last month of the plant closure in Cedar Springs. As a result of that plant closure, the Office of Workforce Development wrote to the U.S. Department of Labor for a grant opportunity. We were awarded that grant opportunity. It is the National Dislocated Worker Employment Recovery Grant. It is a mouthful, but if you take your time, it just rolls off like butter. And we were awarded originally $1.8 million, but it was a ripple effect. As our plant was going through, some plants in the coastal area was going through as well. We realized it took almost 3 months for us to get our funding. So what we decided is that, okay, we'll take 985,000 of that 1.8, give the coastal area the remainder, so they'll have something to work with. Whether it's 1.8 or 985,000, that still is a lot of money to work with. Well, with this grant opportunity, we are now able to not only assist those individuals that were impacted by Georgia Pacific, but we can assist any of the other 13 of the 14 counties of Southwest Georgia. This grant is specifically looking at dislocated worker population. We, and when I say we, it's not just WorkSource Southwest Georgia, because the news article said Southwest Georgia was awarded. So I am taking it upon myself to go around to each one of my counties with the assistance of Jerry, my PR person, who's getting me in front of everybody. Thank you, Jerry. Great job. And what I am doing is, number one, informing the different counties of this opportunity. Because at the end of this year and a half, because the money is due June 30th, 2027, I'm going to sleep good at night. And the reason why I'm going to sleep good at night is because I'm not going to leave not one stone unturned. And I'm going to ensure that everybody that has ears is going to hear about this opportunity. So I come to you tonight, this evening, this afternoon, because you all are the pillars of your community. I'm just one person. I'm good. Sometimes I think I'm great, but I'm not that good. And I know I need assistance in getting the word out, but not only getting the word out, but connecting the dots and making things happen. We need to spend as much of this $985,000 as possible. If that means getting the businesses involved, to sign OJT contracts, and to be in a waiting position until we're able to place people, or if that means identifying job seekers who need to upskill their training opportunity. Those are the best ways to spend this $985,000. Now, we all, thank God, are gainfully employed, but there's somebody in our community that is not. There's someone in our community that can benefit from this opportunity. Our businesses in the community, they can benefit as well. They can do OJT contracts, and they can be in a waiting position. So when we do have potential employees, or if they have a stack of applicants, we can take those applicants through the process and vet them, whether it is the dollars from this or the dollars from my regular formula funding. But I need you all's assistance to get the word out into the community, to inform everyone, to let them know that there are great opportunities out here, that we can turn Southwest Georgia around. Because at the end of this grant period, I really want the news article to read that the community of Southwest Georgia rallied behind this grant. And if we didn't spend all of it, we spent the majority of it. So this is why I'm before you today. I need your assistance. I need to not only get the word out, but I need to be action oriented and I need to make some things happen. So does anyone have any questions for me?
If you'll get us some literature and some information, we'll get with Doug and we'll put it on our website, we'll put it out there and get with Jared and whatever we need to do.
Do you prefer the electronic copy
How
of
you
it?
want it done, email?
And give you those
Okay.
and I'll email it to you.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
I will.
Thank you, ma'am.
And if y'all have any questions, you know where I'm at.
Right.
I thank you all. and
Thank
I'll hand it
you.
back to Alden.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Safe travel.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, the old business, the Mayhaw shooting range update.
Yes, sir. So I've been dealing with, Caitlin Good, who's the director of shooting. Last month I told you guys that they submitted a plan to their legal team, which the legal team now has approved it. And they're wanting to lease about 40 acres of land for 50 years. And I told her that I would need to get with you to determine if we wanted to go ahead and proceed with that, because once we sign a lease, the grant process pretty much is on us. I mean, they'll still get us the money, but they'll have to be hands-off, so it's gonna have to be a county project to do that. So that's the reason I just needed you to decide if that's what y'all wanted to do, go ahead and proceed with that, and then have them draft. They didn't want to draft the lease up until, you know, they saw that we were 100% ready to go. So, nothing's really changed, it's just the fact that if we do this, if we sign the lease, then we apply for the loan, or the grant, excuse me, and, it's federal money, but they issue it, the DNR issues it. They will not be able to help us build it, but they said they could get us plans from other sites that we've done. Me and Andy talked about it. We pretty much can do it with in-kind work, all the equipment we've got, and me and Miss Debbie Henry's been going through FEMA to look at what the rates are. So I do have a federal rate of what we could charge them back for like dump trucks and motor graders and excavators and stuff like that. So that's where we are now. It's just now it's not a ballpark. If we want to do it, I just need to be able to let them know that y'all are ready to proceed forward.
Will they still be responsible for the remediation of the lead that's out there?
Yes, that'll be their part. And it'd probably be that $40,000 that we've got to do that. But they did say that usually it'll take about 6 to 8 months once we give them the go ahead, because they still have to get, the environmental services out there, and they have to get the tribal to, I guess, to come out there and okay the land. But yeah, all that stuff to be taken care of. And I did tell them that we didn't want them to kind of maintain this shooting range, and us having skeet shooting on one side, it needed to be one or all, you know. So they agreed to that. So that's where we are now. I just need to let them know what you guys want to do.
So you just need us a vote to enter in that lease?
Yes. Or an MOU at least until the lease gets drafted up.
All right. I need a motion to enter into a MOU.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No way.
Doug, what is gonna be the dollar value of the lease? How is
They
that?
didn't say, they always just said that the legal team approved them to lease us about 40 acres for 50 years. They didn't put a dollar amount on it, nothing. So that's what once we get this
Once
down, I'll go.
we're getting this,
One more
vote,
step.
we start getting that ball rolling.
That's right. So once I get with her, then I'll have all the details of that side.
Where's that going, Doug?
Where the old shoot range is, It's probably gonna go to the dirt road, where it's old Donaldson Road, right on that other side. Or if you go down Old Donaldson Road where the power line is, in that lot right there, it's hard to clean, so it's gonna be somewhere in that same area.
All right. New business, EMA Local Emergency Operations Plan.
Yes, so Miss Debbie Henry brought this by, you got it in your packet, it's just basically something she has to do, just like the comprehensive plan, something she has to kind of do on a regular basis. And basically, the whole entire board has to sign off on on this plan, so that's all it is, we just need to get the board to sign.
So you don't need a motion or anything?
I guess you just probably need to make a motion to sign it, if that's what y'all want to do.
We need a motion to accept the emergency operation plan.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? The county financial policy.
Yes, sir. So, we've been working on updating our policies, and we did the business license that, I gave you guys a copy, we're kind of reviewing that. Well, then this, Mr. Keith come to me about the financial policy. I guess at one of the classes that he had went to, it talked about financial policy, and all the financial policy I have is basically what we kind of was going off of what the state says. So I went in, kind of did some research and pulled from different counties. This is an actual financial policy. You don't have to vote on it or anything tonight, it's just a review. It talks about long-term, about how we have to balance the budget, our time frame, which is July to June. Long-term planning, if we did have any investments, purchase and travel, all that stuff. So it's the whole policy instead of just one individual, like credit card and all, it's all in one policy. So you just need to review it. And we'll bring it before, when we do the, business license, we'll bring them all together.
All right. The Cobra proposal.
That's,
Yeah, we just need some, we go through Madison Street. And, we don't have any there. And we need somebody there, it'll be an extra, to send out COBRA paperwork when people are terminated. That'll keep us out of some possible lawsuits, because, when people are out and they don't get any kind of COBRA paperwork, but they have somebody there that can handle that, it's just gonna be an addition to what we
And
pay,
you have-
it's in there. It's something I think we probably really need to do.
So that just happens when they get terminated, that notify them that their benefits have been terminated.
yeah. We'll benefit.
You need a motion for that, or just,
Yeah, to accept that.
we need a motion to accept the Cobra proposal? Need a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I didn't understand it, so I didn't bother me.
Well, if I think we'll look at it. All right, LB grant.
So what this is the supplemental, we actually got our LD the first go around, I think it was like $545,000. This is an additional $585,000, it is the, LD supplemental, and we just have to go through the same paperwork. I've got the letter typed, you just need to sign the letter, and, you need to go ahead and authorize it. Basically, Andy, you wanna go through the roads that we talked about?
Nothing's, set in stone, but what kind of the plan was, Phoenix Cooktown. We get this supplement in there, put it all together, we do Phoenix Cooktown, do Judaville, Bush Davis, and maybe we'll get that little section of South Bridges. Whether we can work that out this time, we may have to wait a little while because of gas price, asphalt going up and down. But that was the plan. And, the plan for the next one, which we'll start working on it, pretty quick. My personal opinion, I'd go to White's Bridge, I'd sit down on Avenue, and I'd go north till I got to Phillipsburg. Is what I, so we only got one other road that's getting, in a little bad shape, and that's Shingle Road, but it's holding up okay, but you got two sections of Avenue that they're getting in rough shape. I'd work on my next one. If I could cover this, you know, we submit for the next one, that's what I'd do with the next. And, you know, if y'all wanna change some of it, you know, we can change it, but that's kind of our worst roads as they go, to me, you know. And whether we can quite cover them, it's gonna be real close, you know. We had it figured kind of to cover them, but, you know, with this little price increase and going up, down, we may wanna look at waiting a minute and let it come down a little, or, you know, we just have to make that decision when we get there.
Alright. Do you have a motion on that?
Yeah, they need to make a motion so you can sign it.
We need a motion to sign the LMIG supplemental grant,
Make a motion.
need a second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Any department reports?
If you look at the fueling station, I still have to meet with, ones out of Albany, what's that? Barber. I've actually sent him the photos, I'm just waiting for him to get back to me. We're on par, we're having trouble, the fuel, like Andy said, the fuel prices are up, we're still, luckily we had a good bit in the tank, so our prices are not that high just yet. I'm probably the next semi-load we'll start seeing a big increase. Other than that, fueling station's just doing normal. I don't see the sheriff here. Andy, you got anything?
You know, kind of before the meeting, we was kind of talking about, I was kind of wondering if y'all be interested in letting me look around for maybe a dump truck, you know, go behind the semi. That really help out with some of these long hauls, you know, especially with us clipping shoulders and, you know, we gonna get,
I would recommend a frame dump.
oh, definitely. I got you. I mean, it's just something maybe to look at, you know, I mean,
I'd go ahead, I'd price it, see if we find a good used one, and maybe a price on wet kit.
yeah, we got to have a wet kit, you know, and a dump, but, you know, if I make a run, we'll be hauling 6 loads instead of 3 or, you know, 4. We're running 3 trucks right now pretty regular, so. But if I make a run, that's like hauling 6 loads.
That'd probably be cheaper than buying a dump truck.
Yeah, shoot, dump truck now is just one of the small ones. We got probably 180,000-90,000 now for one of them, you know, so, I mean, I got her up on the old dump trailer, you know, I mean, we kind of patch up on it. I can make a few runs with it, you know. The further we get away from home, you know, it just gets a little harder with that haul, and I'm still looking for somebody to, you know, maybe let us stockpile some dirt around too, so, you know, maybe that'll help out, but if y'all be interested, I'd just like to kind of look, maybe get a price up, look around and see what we can find, you know.
Okay with that, everybody else is.
You have talked with people in the community about stockpiling the dirt?
Yeah, you know, me and Layton talked about it the other day, we throwing some things out there, you know. Doug and I talked about behind the dump site out there, you know, we got just a little bit, but, you know, it's not a whole lot. But we kind of looking around, you know, and, you know, if I find anybody, I'll let y'all know and we'll talk about it. You know, make sure everybody's good with it. You know, you know, we just need a spot kind of side of the wood somewhere and we're gonna stack it. You know, it won't be a big widespread thing, you know, we'll make it nice and neat, you know, but sure would help if we had somewhere really on both sides of the county, you know, to tuck some in somewhere and not have to haul so far.
It'd be nice in each district, you could find somewhere.
Yeah, you know, well, that's, you know, we've been kind of throwing it out there to some people, and a couple of them said, you know, well, let me look around, and I'm gonna get back with a couple of them, you know, and see if maybe we can find a spot, you know, if not, we may put a little bit over there behind the dump site, you know, and we get over there clipping, and the clipping, my plan was, I'm gonna jump on Jeterville, go ahead and get it knocked out, and Bush Davis before we pave them, you know, go ahead and get that done, cause they really need it. And I'm gonna limb cut them while I'm there too, you know, while we're slowing down traffic. I'm gonna get the clipper guys to go through it and the limb cutter guy to go through it. So they should be ready when we get ready to pave it. You know, the shoulders will be good. They'll be done, you know, kind of rehabbed a little by then. Then we're gonna start working on, jumping on some of these that we're gonna put stripes on, we'll try to get on them. And, you know, we juggling a little bit right now with mowing and being a little short-handed, but we make it.
Alright. Y'all got anything? We're gonna go into executive session. Y'all got anything? No question?
We're good.
I need a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? We came out of executive session, it took no action, we talked about real estate. I need a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
There's no any other discussion or any business, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I need a second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.